Áudio é foda, né?
It's the ultimate test of toughness.
So I just got done watching Sean Strickland beat up Nasruddin Imavov for 5 rounds. And it was a pretty good fight night card, you know? Shout out Dan Ige, won me some money. Always like to see that. But, you know, it got me thinking about Dana White, you know, what he's been up to. Not like the New Year's stuff, but what else he's been up to. And it got me to thinking about the Power Slap League. And Power Slap League starts very soon, if you didn't know. It starts January 18th. I figured,
Why don't we take a look together?
to figure out the rules and how it's going so far. But before we hop in really quick, I just wanted to take a quick second to thank you guys, because my last video did way better than like all my other videos combined. I just wanted to thank you guys for watching, liking the video, commenting. And, you know, if you like my videos, why not subscribe? It's free. Thanks for the support, it means the world. It's really motivational to see the growth. Even if it's just something like 1,000 views on a video, it just means a lot to me. Thanks, guys.
But now let's get into it.
Ooh, he moved his head before he did
Yeah,
a second
and
slap.
he still landed clean. Flinching! Blue!
Yeah, yeah, that's right. We're looking at a sport where you can get slapped in the face, unprotected, and you could still be doing it wrong. That's what we're gonna be looking at today. I'm gonna say this before we jump fully into this, but as I am sure you could assume, this idea has had its fair share of criticism. People such as celebrities and even employees of Dana White, but at the same time, this probably does have a huge audience because this tweet right here sums it up best. Slap fighting is the equivalent if a NASCAR race was just intentional car crashes, because who wouldn't want to watch a car crash? As horrible as that sounds, who wouldn't want to watch somebody get slapped and possibly knocked out without being able to defend themselves? Something I've noticed while looking into this whole Power Slap League is that they're trying to be like really official with it, which is good because you want them to be safe. You want there to be rules so that no one can get like more hurt than they're already gonna get, if that makes any sense. But at the same time, it's really kind of funny because you can only be so official with slapping people in the face unprotected, right? So let's take a look at some of the rules that they have for this league.
A coin toss before every fight determines who slaps first, and there's a maximum 3 rounds in a fight. In each round, the fighter will deliver an open hand slap to the opponent's face. At the start of the round, the striker has 30 seconds to deliver the slap. When slapped, you have 30 seconds to recover and get back into fight position.
Now, right off the bat, a coin toss to determine first slap. That already sounds crazy, right? Or is it just me? Because this isn't a football game. We're not just trying to decide possession of who has the ball. This is like injury-inducing slaps. Someone's trying to get knocked out here. But believe it or not, some fighters, or some slappers, I should say, win the coin toss and then they still choose to be slapped first. Hard to believe. Let's look at some of those.
Hit first. Yeah, hit first. I would have chose to slap first because, like, why wouldn't you? He sees me looking back at him and he realizes it wasn't shit. I always get slapped first.
So
It's
what-
like it's a head game.
What if he knocks you out on the first hit?
He's a hell of a slapper.
You elected to get hit first.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy doesn't seem like he's getting affected by being slapped in the face at all. Not to me, at least. I don't know about your guys' opinion on that, but yeah, I don't know who would want to get slapped in the face first. I guess it could be an advantage for some people, but me personally, I'd like to dish it out more than I'd like to receive it. Whoa, wait, whoa. Looking at the other rules here, 3 rounds maximum. That's a good rule. You don't want them getting slapped more than 3 times that hard, at that speed, at that power. I like that rule. Jordan approves. Next rule, open-handed strikes only. That makes sense. It's a slap, not a punch. You don't want them... Yeah, that could really damage someone. You don't want anyone getting hurt here. 30 seconds to slap. Fair. You don't want this taken all night here, do you? You don't want to watch people getting slapped around for hours, just a couple minutes. I do find it funny though. I don't know how this would take more than 30 seconds to slap someone. That would be cool to watch. Someone run out of time and not get their slap done. That would be pretty funny. I couldn't imagine anyone taking more than 30 seconds is what I'm trying to say here. And then 30 seconds to recover. 30 seconds to recover. I don't know how much recovering you could do if you're knocked out. If you get knocked out, I assume the fight's over. So I guess this rule doesn't really matter unless you get really stunned, but you're still in it. So those are the basic rules.
The striker has rules too. Their feet have to stay in their zone and always touching the floor.
Both the offensive striker has some rules here, and the defensive receiver.
During the fight, both fighters have to stand in their zone with their feet parallel to each other. The defender has to keep their shoulders square, chin up, and both hands behind their back.
Basically, I'll just sum it up real quick for you. The defensive receiver basically just has to stand still and receive punishment, while the offensive person has to stay in the box with their feet on the ground. But I can't imagine lifting your feet off the ground would help you get a more powerful strike.
Keep the feetsies on the ground, strikers, slappers.
This last part I found really funny.
Before the strike, they have to tell the ref which hand they're going to use and how many warm-ups they'll do, which are wind-ups.
Red has chosen right two. Right two.
What would happen if they said they're gonna go with their right hand, 2 wind-ups, but then they did 3 wind-ups instead? Would they not be able to slap that round? Or would they get a warning and then like 2 or 3 warnings, then they'd lose a slap? I was just thinking about that and I thought that'd be pretty funny. I also like how the referee is also trying to maintain the officialness of this power slap league here. This referee is Chris Tognoni, I think that's how you say it. But he's a common UFC ref. I see him all the time when I watch UFC. And it's interesting to see him here. He almost looks like he's taking this power slap league more seriously than the UFC. I'm not saying he's a bad UFC ref or anything. It's just the level of seriousness here is on a different level.
Right two.
And it's just really sticking out to me because of how ridiculous this league is to me.
A legal slap is flat. Open-handed shot to the side of the face. On the cheek, below the eye, but above the chin. Bottle, funny. You can't lead with the palm of your hand either. The entire hand must land at the same time. Flinching. The defender can't flinch. Raise their shoulder or tuck their chin. That's a warning. Penalties range from warnings, red, -1, to point deductions, to disqualifications.
I feel they didn't explain that part too well because they said if they flinch or they slap wrong, they get a warning. If the warning adds up to 2, they lose a point. And if the warnings add up to 3, then they get disqualified. But what if the guy flinches, so he gets a warning, but because he flinched, he didn't really get hurt by the slap? Does the other guy get to slap again that round? Because if not, I'd flinch, affect the slap, and so I'd be able to get a clean slap first. I do that every time. It seems like a way to cheat the system. Just flinch first, so you only get 1 warning, and then that way you get another powerful slap that you can send back at them. I really like this part here where Dana talks about if the fight goes 3 rounds.
If a match goes 3 rounds, the judges will render a decision based on typical boxing or MMA point systems.
And it's funny because let's take a look at the MMA point systems. They score fights on effective striking and grappling, aggressiveness, and octagon cage control. Well, you can rule out octagon cage control because we're not in an octagon and there's no cage to get control time in. And I would say you can rule out aggressiveness too, because unless you're like trying to act like the slap you just got hit by didn't hurt you to the judges and you're being aggressive like
that fueled me up. I'm ready to go. I ate that. Nom, nom, nom.
Instead of doing that, I don't see any other way you could be aggressive in this, because you're just standing stationary, slapping someone who's also standing stationary. So, effective striking and grappling, if you look further into this, the effective striking refers to the amount of damage in a match. So this all comes down to damage. So why didn't he just say damage? That's my point here, is is they're trying to make this seem way more professional than it actually is, and it's just really funny to me. But if you still don't believe me that they're trying to make this like more professional than it is, or they're trying to make this seem like an art, I should say, then I think that we should take a look at this video because it proves my point even more, I feel like. So let's take a look at this video.
There's a technique to it, and there's a way that you move your hips, and whether you keep a straight arm or you bend it and whip it, or, they kind of had to figure this out as they go. They've kind of created their own little niche.
You see right there, Anthony Smith, he's trying to make this sound way more professional because look at how the fighters describe the same thing that he just described. And I'm not saying this is the reason, but Anthony Smith is employed by Dana White. Not only is he a UFC fighter, but he's also a reporter and analyst about UFC. So he's employed by Dana White. So he might be like getting paid to say stuff like this and trying to make it look professional. It's just all thrown out the window when the fighters talk about how they approach their game.
I'm just gonna go on there and slap dude in next week.
I'm here to slap somebody, just plain and simple. I'm 6'5".
Taking a really technical approach to this.
As you can see, all of these guys have their trying to think of the word for it. Strategy. Their own strategy employed for them to become champion and win whatever the prize is that is being offered here. But one guy in particular stood out to me, and his name is John Davis. And let's take a look as to why he stood out to me.
Practice techniques for this. I looked into it really deep. I was doing exercises for the stabilizer muscles in my shoulders all the way through my arms. You never know if you're going to slap someone and hurt yourself at the same time.
Yeah, if this guy is worried that much about hurting himself from slapping his opponent, I feel like his opponent is going to have quite an easy night. But, no hate on John. I'll be rooting for him because his name stands out the most to me because it's a pretty ordinary name. But I might check in to see how John does, He's just the guy I have my concerns about. If he's worried about injuring himself while slapping his opponent, who's completely defenseless, he seems to have done his homework more than anyone else. So maybe he will win.
These aren't your average dudes just walking around the street. That's how you got, baby? I eat that!
You don't say, Anthony. While I was researching this video, I went to the Power Slap website, and then I saw that they had a participate option. And your boy was looking into it a little bit. Call me interested. They do ask questions like, do you have a history in combat sports, which I do not. They asked why you want to be a slap fighter, which I do not have a reason right now except for excessive fame and prove I'm the toughest man alive and the best slapper alive. But I'll let you guys decide if I should look into that any further. But overall, I would say I do not think that this will last that much longer. It could, I could easily be proven wrong. But I think that there will just be a lot of injuries coming out of this, not enough ratings, not enough people. It's on TBS, so you don't even have to pay to watch it. It'll be on national television. I can't imagine that many people will watch it, even though I said earlier people like watching car crashes, and this is like a car crash. So, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Just like with everything, you'll have to wait and see.
Thank you guys for watching this video. That's pretty much all I had to say about this topic. If I missed anything, please let me know down in the comments. If you would like me to become a Power Slap fighter, let me know down in the comments. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, everybody. Later.